And we are now live here, folks, on Live at Lunch with Tyler Werre from the St. Lunacritics. We had a little bit, some struggle, but we got her worked out. And
there's some minor technical difficulties, nothing major.
Exactly. So we're here. We're live. We're on top. We're talking some Cardinal baseball, and it's always fun. Tyler, how you been, buddy?
Been good. Been good. It's been a busy couple weeks, but it's also been a stressful couple weeks with the Cardinals' offense just plummeting into the earth.
Look, guys. Hey, we got Tyler here. If you want to check him out, him and his crew, they have got a podcast called the St. Lunacritics. You can catch them on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts. Listen on your favorite device. I'm sure you will enjoy, because you guys, as we've said, they talk Cardinal baseball, but they're the pop culture, some hockey, some football, and the draft just popped up, so you're probably doing some of that, I'd imagine, as well, correct?
Yeah, we talked about the draft last night, actually. Pretty much talked the last 2 weeks about the Cardinals. Like, we had to throw the Cubs in there a little bit. And then, really, we were just kind of talking about the baseballs in general with the MLB right now.
Well, and that becomes quite the issue there, in my estimation, when you're talking about these things. And with the Cardinals, let's just get right into it. Over the last little bit, and I'll be honest, I've been busy. We've been doing a lot of high school baseball. I haven't been able to see a lot of the games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been difficult for me to really assess. I did see yesterday they won 10-0. I didn't see much of the Royals weekend, but that set with the Arizona Diamondbacks was brutal.
Yeah, it wasn't good. You just split a series with the Diamondbacks, and I know going into it, the Diamondbacks had just taken 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, but I don't see any reason why you shouldn't win 3 out of 4 of those games. But right now, it looks like the offense from June and July of last year that just hasn't figured it out yet, and they haven't put it all together. You've got 3 guys in your lineup right now that are basically doing everything. I think Arenado's back has got to be killing him with how much he's carrying the team right now, because the guy's just on fire. And then Goldschmidt finally started picking it up a little bit. He's hitting like 280, I believe. He figured he would get going. He's always a slow starter. And then Edman, he's been hitting well too, getting on base. But after that, O'Neill's been pretty bad. They finally dropped him out of the 3 hole yesterday, put him in the 6th spot. And I know yesterday he went 2 for 4, had a triple and a home run, but he still does not look right up to bat. He looks like he's guessing, and he's flat-footed on a lot of his swings. There's no stride. I know he doesn't have much of a stride, but he just looks off balance every time he swings. Even his home run, it didn't look good. He just happened to get barrel on it.
Yeah. Exactly. It's interesting when we're talking about hitting. Hitting right now is a big topic of discussion. We talk about hitting. But is it just a function of the fact that is pitching just better right now?
Well, I think pitching obviously has gotten better, but I'm still under the conspiracy theory that these baseballs have something to do with it. I really do. Because I'm watching guys that are absolutely, like Cody Bellinger did this 2 nights ago off of John Brebbia. He absolutely smoked one to center field. And they even asked Brebbia about it after the game. They said, how come you didn't watch that ball that Bellinger hit? And he goes, Oh, because I thought it was 10 rows into the bleachers. He goes, I was just afraid it was going to kill somebody. And no, it was caught at the warning track. Didn't even make it out of the stadium.
Right.
And I'm watching guys absolutely tattoo the ball, and it's going nowhere. I couldn't tell you how many times I've watched a guy connect with one and be like, oh, that's gone. And it doesn't even make it to the warning track.
I agree with that sentiment. I think that's happening a lot more than what people, if you're watching baseball a lot, you'll see that. But if you're not, you think, oh, maybe you're just talking, that's hyperbole, but it's not. It really is happening a lot more. And I don't care what, again, this year they're talking about batting averages being down. And I don't think it's just the Cardinals. But when you look at the Cardinals, they started off so hot. You have a Goldschmidt, you have an Arenado, you have a lineup that is really good, but yet you're seeing these spaces where offenses such as the Cardinals just kind of go in a funk.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's really going to hurt guys like Paul DeYoung, who's not a big average guy anyway, and he relies on most of his numbers coming from home runs, and he's not even getting close. But if you look at like our lineup, and you just go off like hard hit percentage and who's barreling it up, he's second on the team at 41.5% of hitting the ball hard. The only person ahead of him is Goldschmidt at 48.5%. But DeYoung's also hitting like 120, 130. So you're just like, what's the problem here?
Right.
Like, why is it? Are you just that unlucky, or I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't think.
Granted, DeYoung doesn't walk a lot either, so that doesn't help. He swings at bad pitches.
Exactly, and I think that's a struggle with it as well. When you're looking at the Cardinals up and down, all right, and they moved Carlson out of the top of the lineup, but I think Tommy Edman has been really good there.
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine with that move. Tommy just hits the ball hard. He's actually walking more than he was last year, so he's having good at bats. He's not striking out a whole lot. I mean, the whole Cardinals offense isn't really striking out. I mean, we've only struck out 164 times this season, and that's the third best in the MLB.
Yeah, but it seems like the strikeouts have really come of late. 10 strikeouts in a game, 9 strikeouts in a game. So I think that, and especially against and let's put this into perspective real quick. I want to say this because I don't maybe think the Diamondbacks are as bad a baseball team as people, as we think either.
Maybe they got to play in a tough division too. So a lot of their losses are coming against premier teams.
And everybody in the West right now, everybody, including Arizona, is 500 or better. I think Arizona's won 7 of their last, 9 games, and they've played really good baseball. So I think you got to give a little bit there in that respect.
Yeah, but then you turn around and the Cardinals scored 2 runs in 2 games back to back against the Royals. You win 1-0 off a Goldschmidt home run, and then the next day you lose 7-1, and you scored on a ground ball in the 8th inning to get your run. That can't happen.
I'm going to go back to something that we talked about last year, and I think it's kind of been a function of the Cardinals' offense. And this is something I believe very much about it, is there is so much inconsistency in their lineup. They will, like they did yesterday, they scored 10 runs, right? But
yeah, granted, I saw that coming from a mile away. The pitcher they faced had a 10 ERA.
There you go.
And he didn't even make it through the first inning.
And you're going to see them now. Will they struggle again? Maybe one run gets shut out. That seems to be a pattern with this Cardinals offense.
Yeah, I mean that's all it was last year too.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have a game where they face some crap pitcher, they knock him around, score a bunch of runs, and then all the pundits and everything are just like, see, the offense is fine. And then we face a mediocre pitcher the next day, and he shuts us out through 6 innings. It's like, come on, like, put the barrel on the ball, would you?
What? And I really thought they had they turned kind of a corner against the Diamondbacks when they came back and won that game 7-5. That was a really good game. I thought they had made okay. Ooh, yeah. I really felt like the energy was right and whatnot, but it just didn't carry into that Royal series.
No, it didn't. And our schedule this month does not get any easier because we play the Giants for 4 now. I think we played Baltimore and then like Pittsburgh. But then like to end the month, we've got to play the Blue Jays, the Giants again, the Padres, and the Brewers, all to end like this month.
You'd be lucky.
We get like 2 series versus the Orioles and the Pirates where it's like, okay, you have to win those games because the rest of these series are not easy at all. Yeah. And I think this month's going to be a big test to see where we're at.
If you come out of those series with the Jays, the Giants, who else?
Padres,
and you're at 500 with those squads, and you can win the other series, I think you're doing good.
Yeah.
Right.
This Giants series is going to be tough. 4-game series in San Francisco. Sucks that we have to play them both series twice this month, but yeah, they've got to find a way to split those games.
And the Giants,
they can't.
The Giants are going home.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, they're going home licking their wounds. They just got beat up by the Dodgers.
Oh yeah. I mean, but what? Right now, Cardinals are 14-10.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're like 2 back of Milwaukee. Milwaukee just keeps pitching really well. Granted, they just beat up on the Reds, but they did what they were supposed to. They beat the Reds.
Well,
we couldn't even sweep the Reds.
That's there you go. And we've talked a lot about that. You look at divisions. Offensively, I think the Cardinals, just the consistency of it is just brutal. You can't be consistent scoring 4 and 5 runs. You have these big, huge boom, and everybody's like that. And then you'll score 2 runs in 3 games.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, so right now we're ranked 20th in OPS at 657. We're ranked 14th in batting average at 234. We're ranked 17th in on-base percentage at 308. We're ranked 22nd in home runs with 17. 28th in Ks, well, technically 3rd in Ks with only 164. And then we're ranked 21st in slugging at 350. So we're like middle to the bottom half of the league in most offensive categories.
And isn't it still this dude, what's his name? Jeff somebody?
Jeff Albert.
Yeah. Maybe they ought to put Albert back in the can, man.
Yeah, I don't know. We've been wondering what he has on Mo in the front office and why this guy keeps getting away with his job. I don't know, because the offense, he's been around for like 4 or 5 years, and the offense has not gotten any better. And every year we say the same thing: this offense is way too good to not be hitting.
Right.
He's gone through 2 managers. Like, I don't get it.
No.
Because I know him and Schilt would butt heads on philosophies and whatnot. Sure enough, Schilt just gets fired. Keep Jeff Albert. Like, I don't know. I don't get what the big deal is with this guy. Like, he doesn't seem like some guru.
I don't. Well, okay, and you know what? Here's the thing. We're not talking something I mean, we're the average Joe Schmo dudes, right? Looking at analytics. I think it would be interesting, Tyler, to look at where the Cardinals' offense has been over the last since Albert's been out of the can. I mean, I don't know if anybody's getting the reference to the joke, If you understand,
I know.
I just want to throw it in the comments if you get the reference to Albert in the can. Go ahead.
I know going into last year, our offensive numbers were down across the board year over year. Over the last 3 years, our offensive numbers had gone down year over year. And usually, you want it to go the opposite way. You want it to be getting better.
Right.
You get your philosophy, everything in place, everyone buys in, you should progressively get better. But we're not at all. It's just getting worse. And if Arenado wasn't doing what he was doing right now, I think our offensive numbers we'd be bottom in the league in almost every category.
And how do it's not like I was talking to actually Kevin Moulder from Prep Baseball Report just the other day, and we made mention of Harrison Bader and his speed and what he was. We went and looked up his perfect game stuff, right? Because we were looking at speed and things like that. And he remembered he scouted him and coming out of, I think it was the Northeast, right? Somewhere up there. And he said Bader in college and what he did was a home run guy. Double-digit home run guy.
I can kind of see it because he has that swing.
And, I mean, he just struggles to not strike out. So what's the difference here? I understand there's different levels, but it wasn't like he wasn't playing Division I baseball and he's a pretty good ball player.
He's Willie Mays Hayes. Just trying to hit home runs every time now.
Do you think it is? Do you think that's his problem? He's trying to hit home runs?
No, I don't think he's trying to hit home runs. I just think he has that type of swing that he's always had it. He looks like I'm not surprised that he was like a home run guy
right
back in college and stuff, just by looking at his swing, because he looks like he's always trying to launch it. I always thought his biggest problem was just picking up the pitches. Because those first few years, all you had to do was throw sliders low and away, and he was going to swing and not touch it.
Exactly. And I don't think he's swinging at as many bad pitches as he used to. But, offensively, the Cardinals have to do something. They don't have much off the bench right now.
No.
Kisner's done pretty well. I haven't looked at it lately. But if you look up and down, as you said, a team batting average of 234, which is 17th in the MLB, correct?
14th.
14th in the MLB. Where are they at in the National League at 234?
Oh, you know what? I didn't break it down by National or American League. I just did complete MLB.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, what's the top batting average in the MLB right now? Who has that?
Actually, funny enough, I think it's the Rockies at like 268.
Well, half their at bats are at Coors Field. They should be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They still got to hit it.
It should be. I know, but there are professional baseball players. Colorado should always be number 1 and Cincinnati number 2 because those ballparks are just like launching pads. Simple.
Yeah.
It's the way it is. It's my opinion. Humble as I am. So, but whose number do you have where other National League teams? There are a lot of National League teams ahead of them.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Yeah, I just remember Colorado being like number 1.
Yeah. I just think that the Cardinals have a better offensive team than the inconsistency that they show. You see these, and they had a pretty good stretch there at the beginning of the season. From the only one that really wasn't hitting at the top, well, not the only one. Dylan Carlson was struggling. As you said, Goldschmidt started slow. But Arenado, Bader, and O'Neill got off to really fast starts. Tommy Edman was a little off pace, but I think since he's been back at the top of the lineup, he's kind of found himself. And I don't know why you don't put that guy at the top of the lineup, personally. That's just silly to me.
I mean, funny enough, the one thing that we were all worried about has actually been carrying us in the first part, and that's our pitching.
I know, right?
Bullpen is top 5 right now in like the MLB. We're ranked 9th in team ERA at 3.34. We're ranked 7th in home runs given up at 18. And then we're middle of the pack, ranked 15th in hits given up and whip.
There you go.
And Michaelis has looked fantastic. Matz has had some pretty good starts. Wainwright has been a little up and down, but when he's on, he's been great. And then you've got the experiment going on with Hicks, which I don't know how much longer they're really going to go with that.
Okay. I love the fact that everybody loves to see the 96 to 100 miles an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. Oh, everybody oohs and ahs. I'm just tired of watching people get walked and hit and hitting the bull. And, I mean, send him back down. If you want to make him a starting pitcher, send him back down to Double-A or something until he figures out how to throw the fastball actually over the plate. And I don't have to watch walk after walk after walk after walk. That gets boring to me. I mean, I understand that Hicks you want to make him a starter. Okay, yeah, he's got electric stuff, but he can't throw it over the plate. No command.
No.
None. Goes 2 innings. Okay.
Yeah.
And how much pressure is that putting on your bullpen now?
Yeah, a lot.
I just don't get it.
I mean, you're having to use Woodford, and I like the Palante kid. He's good. But, yeah, it's going to be pretty taxing on them if they consistently have to do that every 5th day and basically have a bullpen game.
Exactly. And now Matt's, he's out on bereavement. I don't know what happened.
Right.
I saw that he was out, so you're losing that start.
Yeah.
Who's coming up from AAA to cover that?
Oh, shoot. I got the alert the other day. What's his name? Like, it's kind of a weird name, like Packy or something like that. Can't remember his name.
And where's Leiter?
Packy Naughton.
Packy Naughton? Okay.
Yeah.
Where's Leiter? Right?
Who?
Leiter. Don't we have a Leiter in down there? The kid, who's the big time? Isn't it Leiter?
In our organization?
Yeah, in the Cardinals organization.
I don't know of a Leiter.
I thought we had.
The only Leiter I can think of is Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not with us.
Okay. I missed it. Well, there you go. See? There you
He's in the Rangers organization.
Ta-da.
I wish we had him. Kid's a stud, but
that they're talking about. Don't we have a big arm down there?
Liberatore?
Liberatore. I knew it started with an L. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Liberatore? Where is he?
Yeah, I don't know if he's ready yet. At least that's what they keep saying. Let me see if I can look at his stats. Because he's still pretty young. He's only 22.
Yeah. Can he pitch? Walker Buehler, man, come on. Let's get somebody up here. Come on. The biggest thing, and
Let's see. So this year,
it isn't even a matter of that with the Cardinals. It has to do with how long we can keep him under our control, keep the money down, and that's what it's based on with the Cardinals with this pitching stuff. It's exactly what it is. You can say what you want to. I've seen too many other guys come up and have success at those levels. If he is that kind of guy, get him on the mound and let's pitch. Come on. Tired of this.
He's not having a bad year so far in AAA. He's 3-2 with a 3.18 ERA.
You want to see my shock face?
Yeah.
Why isn't this kid here? I just come on, man.
We don't need him. We got Hicks.
You said that out loud.
Have you not been watching?
Put Hicks back in the bullpen and forget it. I don't think he has the mentality for it. I love Helsley. I think Helsley should be the closer. Gallegos should be at the setup, and Helsley, he can throw strikes, and he does. He pumps gas like that.
Coming back, he even feels like playing. I never know with that guy. He's made of glass. He's just, I don't know. I'm starting to lose my patience with him. It's every year. It's like, oh, well, I got this injury. Oh, I got this. It's like, dude, you're never here. You're never around.
Right.
At what point, and he's going to want big money. It's like, for what? Yeah. What have you done? You had a really good second half of the season one time. Cool.
And so I think there's still more issues with the Cardinals than it is on the field. I think the players are there. I think they have plenty of talent. I think the front office plays too many games. I think it's and honestly, I love seeing Waino, Yachty, and Albert, but it's pretty grotesquely apparent that this organization, in my estimation, is more concerned about how they run it their way than winning at this point. I mean, honestly, I think winning becomes somewhat secondary.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like you were saying, they just want to save money right now. They bring these guys up, and, they only have them for 5 years. Oh, no. I don't know. Figure it out. Do you want to be good, or do you want to win? I don't know. I'm kind of sick of it all.
I understand wanting to keep your salary cap at a certain level. I understand that. And I understand the fact that you can't spend like the Dodgers or the Yankees or some of these other big-time clubs. I get all that. I really do. But at some point, there has to be a place where like a Libator kid, to where he's that guy that's going to actually come up and be that person, and he pitches behind Waino. You're losing Waino, and now you got Libator, who is going to get no benefit from that. Maybe he comes up in the second half. I don't know. But what are we doing? I just don't understand it sometimes. And maybe that's why I'm not in the front office, and there you go. So doesn't make sense to me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, and I get it, because I'd love to see Gorman up right now too. But that was one of our main conversations last night was, DeYoung's not going to be the guy. Neither is Sosa. They're like, we'll just put Edman at short. And now you've got that weird situation where it's like, I'm sure he can do it. It may not be the prettiest all the time, but you're also talking about when he plays second, he's a Gold Glove second baseman.
Right.
Now, do you want to put him at short? Now you got Gorman at second. Now your defense up the middle isn't near as strong. So now if Gorman comes up and he doesn't hit, and then Edman's thrown off because he's trying to learn how to play short and do all this, and they're not hitting, now what? So the only way you can make that move is if Gorman comes up and hits. He can't come in and not hit.
Right.
Has to. Because now you're already sacrificing your defense for offense, so it has to happen.
It's the big leagues. Do it. I mean, I agree with your point, but I personally believe it can't be worse than putting Carpenter at third base. We sure seem to be okay with that.
I mean, I wasn't.
No, exactly, but the organization was.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
heck, they put Skip Schumacher at second.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When we say these things, everybody goes, well, but and you made fair points, but this organization has done things in the past. You're like, why is a guy that can't throw across the field playing at third base, and he just kind of loops it over there? Hey, Edman, at least, like you said, he's a Gold Glove second baseman. Everybody's got a hit.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, would you put, I'm not trying to say they're the same player, but do you put Biggio at shortstop just because you really need one?
Right. Yeah.
No, you don't. You keep him where he's at because he's unbelievable at what he does at second base.
But there you go. You've done it. You've hung with these guys. You're putting there, and I don't even think DeYoung's that great at shortstop. He's average.
I don't either. Yeah.
He's pretty average. And okay, you're what? We're 14-10 right now, right? Which isn't horrible. They're in second place. Okay, fine. All right. But if you keep dropping stuff, if you can't keep producing runs on a consistent basis, I don't care how good your defense is, I don't care how good your pitching is, this is the major league, and you start losing games 2-0, 2-1, 3-2, because you can't really produce, it doesn't matter how good your defense is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This is Major League Baseball. And that's just the way it rolls. There you go.
I agree.
That's and it's so funny to me because you watch the MLB network and you watch these places and whatnot, and you listen to what they're saying, and everybody wants to talk about the glamour and the glitz and stuff and the things like that. But honestly, I've believed for some time, and I know you have, Tyler, because we've talked about this. I don't believe it's the players. I believe the issues are with the front office with the Cardinals.
Yeah. I have for a while. Like, I don't think Mozeliak is awful or anything like that, but I really do question his decision making a lot of times.
All their decisions are based on the salary cap.
Yeah.
I understand that. I get it. They are a mid squad group, but this is where we have to look at some point. Do you take and skip over that a little bit with maybe a player? How do you not have Libator up here? I know he's 22 and all this stuff. Well, he's not quite ready. I mean,
he's going to have to be ready eventually. Can't just coddle him.
How do these other younger guys get up there and get in and do? And I just, the Cardinals, it'll be, you know what? If honestly, I would bet money you won't see Libator for another year and a half. That's my opinion.
I was going to say I would expect him to be probably in the rotation to start next season. If he keeps doing what he's doing right now, he's going to force their hand.
Agreed.
And you've got to at least see what he can do in the pros. At least bring him up, like September call up this year, whatever it may be. Like, do something. Like, how does he know he can't do it until he does it?
Exactly. I don't disagree, man. I don't disagree. So, well, hey, you know what? We've gone. We started a little late today, folks. Sorry about that. But hey, you know what? In the end, we did. We got here. We got on here. I almost feel a little like Steven Crowder. He's always coming on late. Nah, never mind. Anywho, Ty, thanks, bud.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on.
And
As always, a lot of fun.
Yeah, and as always, guys, St. Lunacritics Podcast, Spotify. You can catch them on Apple Podcast. You can catch them on Google Podcasts. Whatever your favorite listening device, whether you like to listen through your earbuds on your phone, on your laptop, hey, if you're just sitting at home checking out the tube and you got the old Spotify on the old TV screen, check out the podcast from the St. Lunacritics. We'll be back with some more, maybe couple weeks. We always are working on scheduling. We're going to get some other stuff going on here. Hopefully you enjoyed that little baseball talk. Leave your comments. Hey,
I know I did.
Exactly. And we'll see you next time.